Cosmic Loves, how are you? I am outside enjoying this weather, so you may hear a bit of noise. Sorry, y'all know I love being outside. But this is our weekly guidance for June 6th to June 12th. We are in our last month of spring, so just take the time to enjoy. Thank you for coming back to PersiaRedz Space. I hope you got your smoke and your drink. I am clearly grounded out here, and I still got my matcha. It's my new craze. Well, it's not a new craze, but getting it from where I'm getting it from, it's my new craze. But I still love matcha. I've been loved it. Neither here nor there. Are y'all ready for this? I'm ready for this. Are y'all ready for this? Okay. I wanted to use my Sacred Rebel deck. And I wanted to kind of allow Spirit to direct the questions and the answers. So we're going to see how this goes. But again, this is our weekly guidance for June 6th to June 12th. This is a general guidance. It is not a detailed one, being that this is for the whole collective. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you do need readings done, you definitely have my email and everything to contact me for those things. And my website is definitely down below, and you can actually book a reading for me that way too. So here you go. Since there are no planetary transits this week, none. But it's okay because we've been going through a lot of stuff anyway. So getting a little break is probably great. And it's probably great for us to enjoy the rest of our spring season before summer comes in. Because summer, you basically either planted your harvest, you're harvesting your harvest, or you're getting ready for winter, depending. So, spirit guides, ancestors, what are some questions that you want me to say, and what answers do you have to give? So y'all bear with me, because I want them to give me the questions, so that, because this would mean that these questions have come from anyone and is now like floating with needing an answer. So one of the questions that just popped in my head was like, why am I waiting on love? Don't ask me. I know off bats I can say it's not about waiting on love. It's about not settling and knowing what it is that you want from love to a T. Knowing in detail what you want from love and being able to visualize it. If you don't really know what you want from love because you feel like you've never really had love, and I've had one card fall out because you've never really had love, then that's a little bit different. I would write on, like, you know how you do vision boards? I would do a love board on what you feel like love should be, how it should feel, and start using that to help you manifest what you feel like you're waiting for. So don't wait for it. You've written it down, you put everything together, you have no reason to wait for it anymore. We had one card come out, and it says Heaven Sent. All right. So with that being said, Heaven Sent is symbolizing the fact that you don't get help in just physical ways. You do get help in spiritual ways, meaning what you've been asking for is definitely being heard. So the reason that for some of us, the reason that we're waiting on love is because spirits are putting things together for us right now, so that when this love comes, it is not something that can be easily crumbled. And you must also remember to make sure that this love that you are looking for, that you know exactly what it is that you want from it, and that you're not just settling for maybe 2 things off the list of 30 things just because those are the 2 that you see. So remember, use your gift of discernment. Just because you're waiting for it does not mean you take it from anybody. Spirits are working in your favor, so you can definitely allow them to continue to do the work that they're doing while you continue to do the work that you need to be doing to create the person you would want to have, would want, and just making yourself into the person that you feel like is you. So that's whoever, however many people was thinking about that came through. Of course. So our next question, okay. So our next question, this one came kind of quick. So this one was saying, when will the argument start to die down that I've been around for a minute? During this retrograde. So that sounds very specific. So a lot of y'all have been around people that have been trying to argue. Hold on. Sorry about that. The dogs are riled up because someone's working on the roof. Not my roof, but their roof. But yes, so some of y'all know that this has been Mercury Retrograde, and it's going to continue until June 3rd. And then we're going to be in the shadow period until June 18th. So there's been a lot of miscommunication around you, understandably so. So you're saying, when is this going to clear up? Okay, let's see. Because Mercury was in Gemini, and Gemini, and then it was in Taurus. So we have a card that flipped over. Let's make sure that's the only card flipping. All right. The card that flipped over was, what do you feel? So in reference to what do you feel? So with what do you feel, it is basically saying, what have you been hearing in these arguments? What have you been observing? What have you noticed? Because right now your mind is just listening to all these words that you've been hearing over this whole time of Mercury retrograde, and it's feeling like you are allowing some of these words to traumatize you or harm you or even punish you or yourself, because you're listening to what other people are saying, but you're not really able to say how you feel about whatever topics are being discussed, which a lot of it is about your characteristics, your personality, your behavior, things of that nature. And some of these discussions are from people that really don't know you and don't know the way you work. So at the end of the day, isolate yourself from these people as much as you can so that you can listen to yourself, and then these thoughts and these words and all this other extra stuff won't have such an effect on you as much, because now you're able to really listen to yourself. They have nothing to do with how you're going to create your life. They shouldn't. Your life is your power. It has everything to do with you. So when you remove negative things, they can no longer have a significant pull. So those words from those arguments and all that stuff those people have been doing, remove yourself until they can talk differently, until they can talk better. And if they can't, don't make it temporary, just make it a permanent removal. And remember, with this being a general guidance, we all need to really pay attention and be somewhere alone to listen to ourselves and not have everybody else's energy in our mix. Because a lot of people just are talking to talk. They're not really trying to listen, which is a very undermining thing for themselves and others. So just be aware and really listen to yourself and journal what yourself is saying. It'll give you a lot of insight. So, okay, Spirit, y'all going. I will do one more. So, with this one, as I'm reading it, I feel like people want to know, what is something good that's going to happen this week? Like, what is something that's going to bring them joy, something that makes them smile? Spirit, what is something that's going to be joyful for the collective? They want to know. Okay. The card that popped up right here is the sacred fool. The sacred fool is basically saying that it is time for you to enjoy your life. It is time for you to stop, and bear with me, stop planning your whole life. It does not mean to not plan for your future, things like that. Again, bear with me. Plan. Some of us plan to a point that we do not allow life to happen. So when life does happen, it completely throws us off our game. You want to feel more in the game. Let things happen unscripted. Let life be unreserved. Stop looking at it with such limitations and reservations. Let life happen and just be present in the moment, and you'll find so much more joy. When like our plans get, when they are interrupted, and then you find yourself being somewhere really nice, like outside in your backyard or at a park with your son, your daughter, your nephews, your nieces, or just somewhere that is great for you, that is the joy that you are looking for. Is the joy of just being present in the moment and not having to be in control of everything, which causes your mind to overthink, which causes your mind to have all these thoughts that keep you awake at night. Sometimes planning can be detrimental when it's overdone, and a lot of us overdo it because that's all we know. We want to be in control of everything because we feel like we have no control of anything. So try to balance out having control of the things that you need to have control of. But there are certain things that you don't need to be grasping for to have control of, because then you miss out on the better, more beautiful things of life. You want to do something and you want to be happy, allow life to happen. Now, when life happens, it's not always bad. It's really just your perception and your reaction to it. Many things that happen in life is actually supposed to be to help you. The universe is not trying to beat you up. It's trying to give you hints and tips. And it's time for you to listen. I hope y'all understood what I was trying to say. Because it's like dealing with love, remember, and having to wait for love. What heaven sent. Let the spirits do their job. And make sure you're doing yours too. Because it's not about waiting. But you also got to remember, you can't settle and stop being impatient. Then we had, how do you feel when Spirit gave me the question of these arguments? Pay attention to what's being said, but at the same time, remove yourself and listen to yourself. Because yes, it's great to hear constructive criticism and things like that, but that's not constructive criticism, and you know it. Remove yourself, listen to yourself, and journal. How do you feel about things? Because it's really about you, it's not about them. Last but not least, what'll help make you happy this week? Being unreserved, allowing life to happen, and not thinking when life happens it's something bad, but that it's something for your greater good. And that it's more of your reaction to it. It's your perception, your perspectives that matter. So, your happiness will always be based off of you and what makes you happy. So, when life happens and brings you something and puts you in a place that you would have never been in had you planned it, that's your happiness. Because it's going to make you happy. Hope y'all understood what I was trying to say and what I put down. Sorry about all the dog barking, the cons of being outside. But let me just say that thank you for sharing this video. Thank you for liking and thank you for commenting. I appreciate you all. Like I said, I love it. We don't have any planetary transits, but next week we do, and I will be back to tell you all about it. Have a great week, loves. Bye.